Hello and welcome everybody to the Hobby CNC with Dave show. Let me get the rest of my crew in here. We've got Sean with us tonight, as well as
Good evening, everyone.
the Wolfman is back. How you doing, Ryan?
Need him a haircut.
Oh,
And we've got a special guest tonight, and I'm going to be bringing them on soon. But before I do, I want to take a minute to talk about our sponsor. You know, we have a fella by the name of Cody who sponsors our live giveaway every single week, and we are so thankful for him. There's the website, www.cadencemfgdesign.com, and we are going to be giving away tonight. Let's see, right here, a mini Jenny. Let me see if I can get the hashtag set up while it's running.
That's a nice looking one.
that it is. She's sharp too.
All right.
Yeah,
Time that just
right
about.
there.
Time that just about right. So the hashtag tonight, I didn't have it
Thank
over
you,
here.
Cody.
Let me find that thing. Where is it? I don't know what I did with it.
He lost it.
Okay, let me edit this one.
If you're
You
like
can't
me,
edit.
it's right in front of you, Dave.
We're live, Dave. You can't edit.
Who says? Okay, the hashtag tonight will be hashtag mini Jenny.
There
So
you
if you
go.
want to get in on the drawing that we do later tonight, just put that in the chat, and we will be drawing it a little bit later tonight. All right, let's get our special guest in here,
Oh, special guest.
and it is Mr. Cody Elkins. How you doing, Cody?
Hey guys, I'm doing good. Thank you. You got me blushing over here after saying all that stuff.
Well, it's been. I got the. You know how Facebook does those memory things, and the one popped up just the other day saying that in my Facebook memories it had the thing of when I had you on the show, and I thought, well, gosh, it's been a while, and you might have been on another time since then, but I'm like, it's time to have Cody back on the show.
I'm usually in the chat every week, but I don't come on here very often.
Yeah,
so I'm excited.
Well, I'm glad you're here tonight because like I said, it's been a little while, and I know there's maybe a few people in the chat that might not know exactly who you are and what you do and stuff. So let's just refresh their memory, if you would, just kind of give us a little backstory on what you do.
Sure. So I mean, first of all, thanks for having me on here, Dave. I love watching your show every single week. It's a lot of fun, and also seeing everybody like in the chat. It's always those guys crack me up. It's funny, but no. So kind of my backstory. So there's a lot of people that kind of know my story, kind of on the surface, but there hasn't been a lot of people that's really gone deep. And for me, from the very beginning, it's been like a total God thing, right? A couple years ago, I started off just like everybody else. I actually started with a Bob CNC. And after I installed about 2,000 screws and nuts and my fingers were bleeding, that's like what really started my journey, right? I started with a Bob CNC, and then from that machine onto the next Bob CNC, and then I got a Shapeoko. And then finally I landed with a Onefinity, which, man, I'm so excited for that new Onefinity, the Elite that's coming out. This sucker's awesome. But for me, as I was kind of doing my journey, I was going through and I was making signs for people and doing, a lot of custom CNC woodworking for people, a lot of laser work. Matter of fact, I have my Thunder laser right here. But for years, I was just, doing this stuff out of my garage and being really involved kind of in the community. And about 2 years ago, because of the less, rigid CNC machines I have, I started designing my own tooling just to help manage the rigidity issues. And as I started working on those different, projects and talking with people in the community and kind of going back and forth and just bouncing ideas off of one another, I eventually came up with what we all know today is the Jenny bit. And so the funny thing about that is when I first started it, and I know a lot of you guys know this, but there's probably some who don't know yet. But so at the shop that I work at, it's been a running joke for years and years, that anytime somebody was like, hey, what part number are we working on? Like, it doesn't matter. Without fail, somebody would always say, oh, the part number is 8675309, right? And so naturally, when I started designing my own tools, I had to give it a part number, and I gave it the part number 8675309 because it was a running joke. It was easy to remember. I thought it was funny. And then when I hosted my first group buy and I shared it with the Facebook community, they saw the part number and the community named the bit Jenny. And so since then, it kind of took on an entire life of its own. And now I have a whole line of Jenny bits, which is awesome. And the neat thing too is like every bit that I've worked on and released and shared with the community, they've all been requested from the community. So from the Jenny bit, the mini Jenny, the skinny Jenny, like it's all been, community driven. And then the community would actually submit names and then they would vote on the names. And so every single bit that I've shared has been because of people in the community. And then every name is because that's what everyone wanted to call the bits. And it just kind of, rolled from there. And so now this is where I'm at. I'm making a bunch of bits and just serving the CNC community. And Dave, honestly, and I know you can relate to this too. For me, it's more like, I don't feel like I just like sell tools. Like I'm in the community. I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with people on Facebook, and then it led to like a phone call, and then it led to a friendship, right? And so now like all of my customers become my friends, and it's just kind of a really neat family thing is kind of how I feel about it. And it's special and it's unique, and I'm honored and blessed to be a part of it. And I'm excited to share my story with you guys and share the big news that's coming up.
Big news? You got some big news?
I do. Oh my gosh. Dave, okay. So, man, we're going all in. My wife and I, for months, we've been like really praying hard. A lot of consideration, a lot of thought, a lot of planning, a lot of whiteboard planning has been in the play. And honestly, there's a lot of people in the community too that I've talked to and got advice from, and we pulled the trigger. We're going all in, and I bought a full-blown 6-axis CNC grinder, and I'm going to start now taking over the entire production process and do all my own grinding and bring all that in-house. So that way I won't have to be relying on other people all the time. It'll give me an opportunity to bring more innovation for the community. I mean, shoot, I am perpetually out of stock of any one bit at any given time. And my vendors, they do a really good job. Like I love the people that I work with, but it's just getting to a point where I can't keep up. And if I want to grow my business and serve the community at the capacity that I really want to, I have to take it over and take that leap. And so we spent our entire life savings. Yes, the Jenny bit. Thank you, Ryan. And then I bought the machine. So it was in December when all of this was going down. And it's been really hard. I've been keeping this as a secret for a really long time. And it's such a burden, like being lifted off my shoulders, being able to, openly talk about it now. But we bought the machine, everything went through. The machine's going to be here in about a month. So it's scheduled to be here March 24th. I'm going to be flying out to Michigan on the 13th of next month. And I'll be in Michigan for the entire week, and I'll be training on the actual machine that I bought. And then after we do all the programming and build all the tooling, they're going to package up the machine and then send it out here to Arizona. So as soon as the machine gets here, I'm going to hit the ground running and being able to produce immediately. As soon as it's on, leveled, calibrated, we'll be rocking. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm super freaked out about it. I quit my job. As of March 1st, I will be 100% self-employed, which is really scary to say. But that's part of the game. There's no going back. So here we are, and I'm so happy to share this with the community. And I can't believe like all the people here, like all the comments. You guys are incredible. Like the support's been incredible. So thank you guys, because really the Jenny Bit exists because of you. Like really. So that's it. That's kind of my story in a nutshell. And so in addition to all of that, I was talking to some people, and a lot of you guys know I work with Onefinity, and they asked me to partner with them more this year, and I really want to do a good job. And a part of that is me buying this machine, so that way I can keep up with the demand. Because the last thing I want to do is be like, yeah, I want to get you these tools, and then have Onefinity send emails out to people because I'm late. Like I refuse to ever let that happen. So in doing so, I'm buying the machine. I was talking to some people, and somebody actually suggested starting a Kickstarter campaign. And so I'm actually going to be starting a Kickstarter campaign. I'm going to launch it probably Monday or Tuesday of next week. And, the more that I think about it, and the more that I talk to you, Dave, and even, Ryan and Sean, because of the support of the community from the very beginning and how this whole thing kind of took on a life of its own, the support has been absolutely incredible. Now that I'm starting this next chapter kind of in the Jenny saga, I just wanted to offer an opportunity for people to continue to show that type of support, but now they can also do it in the form of a Kickstarter, contribution as well. And it's neat too. I don't know if you know a lot about Kickstarter, but like with the campaign, people can contribute towards the campaign, and just because they believe in the cause or whatever. But when you build it out, there are different tiers that you can essentially, if you contribute a certain amount of money, like you'll get certain perks and benefits. It's almost like a pre-order for tools or whatever. And so I've been working really hard and getting that all ready and built out, that I'll be sharing with everybody here soon. And I was hoping that, after kind of sharing the news, if anybody had questions about the machine, about the training, about what's next, about the Kickstarter, I just wanted to talk about it with you guys and with the community. And so that's basically it in a nutshell. I was actually working with Hamilton. Hamilton helped me make an awesome video to just kind of promote all this stuff. And if it's okay with you, Dave, I was hoping we can play it for everybody.
Okay.
So that's it. That's the machine I'm getting.
That is awesome.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I'm really
That's
excited.
the CNC.
Yeah, and man, hats off to Hamilton. Hamilton, you did such a great job, man. Thank you so much for all your help with all this. Like, seriously, I couldn't do any of this without you guys, and especially all the work you put into that, Ham. You're awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, Ham does a pretty good job with videos, I think.
That was
Yeah,
great.
and if you haven't yet already, go to his YouTube channel and subscribe to him, because he makes some really, really great content, and he's fun to watch, and he's just a great guy. So
yeah,
Ham's going to give me such a hard time for doing this. I apologize in advance.
All right, great show, everybody. Good night.
All right, now Cody, we've got a link you sent me. Do you want me to share that in the?
Yeah. So let me explain it right quick. So, gosh, if you guys have ever worked with Kickstarter, holy cow, what a pain in the neck! Like building that out. I was working on that Kickstarter campaign. I can't tell you how many hours I put into just like making the content and building everything out. And I was like really, really excited. I went to submit it and they rejected it twice. It took me 3 different times. I had to go back and revise it before they finally allowed me to do the Kickstarter campaign. And so right now I got through all the approvals for the Kickstarter where I can actually share it with the community. I have right now a landing page that people can go to. And if you want, Dave, you can put that in the chat or put it wherever you put it with the YouTube thing.
It's in the live chat right now.
Okay, so if you go to that link, there is a spot on there where you can click the button where it says notify me when this project goes live, and you'll get an email notification when it's when it's up and running. And I plan on launching it Monday or Tuesday of next week. I still have a couple more things I have to finish on it, but that's when I'm planning on actually launching it. And then Kickstarter will only go for like, I think 30 or 35 days. So after that 35-day mark is there, it's done. Like you can't contribute towards it. You can't get any of the perks after it. Like once it's done, it's done. And the crazy thing about Kickstarter is I had to like set a goal, right? So when I was thinking about all of this and doing the Kickstarter, like obviously I could never ask the community to buy a machine. That would be like ridiculous, right? But what I am doing is I'm just trying to get funds to offset the starting up cost. So just to give you guys an idea, I was quoted $18,000 just to have it shipped here. This machine's over 10,000 pounds. But that includes like the special truck, the air ride, because it's all, super precision equipment. It can't be bounced around. And then I have to hire the riggers to come in. And then I have to hire the electricians to come in and put, not capacitors. Dang it, what's it called? I can't remember. I had to buy a special stupid box where I can convert the power.
Transformer.
Transformer. I had to buy 2 separate transformers to put into the shop. By the way, I'm actually moving out of my garage and I have to go to an industrial shop in Tempe, which is pretty cool. But all that being said, it's going to cost me over 20 grand just to get the machine in the door. And regardless of what the Kickstarter does, I already have all of that in order. You know what I mean? Like I'm not basing my business decisions off of Kickstarter. This was just something that I wanted to give the community an opportunity to contribute to if they wanted. So regardless, it's going to go through and the machine's still going to be here next month. But that's what the Kickstarter funds are going to go towards. And the whole reason why I was saying all that is with the Kickstarter, I have to set a goal. So I set a goal of like $12,500. And in Kickstarter, if you don't hit that goal, then the entire Kickstarter campaign fails and all the money goes back to the backers and you don't get anything. And I think the idea behind it is if you can't successfully launch a Kickstarter campaign, like you probably shouldn't be running a business. I think maybe that's what they're thinking with that. So that's the goal is I set it for $12,500. But obviously you can go above and beyond that. So if this becomes wildly popular and, people contribute and it's like $50,000, then that's okay. You just can't come in underneath the 12,500. So I hope I explained that well. I'm still kind of learning all about Kickstarter. But
yeah, and to contribute on Kickstarter, I think you have to have a Kickstarter account too, don't you? Like you have to sign in.
Yeah,
but
I think so.
You can sign in with like Facebook or Apple or whatever it is. They have things so you don't have to do a whole new sign up for it.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty straightforward. Whether you do that like through Facebook or if you go straight to that link that Dave shared in the chat, I think you can just like go in there and then you can just sign up. You just give them your email address and a password, I think maybe. I'm not sure, but I think it's pretty straightforward. I had several people test it before I made this announcement just to make sure it's, pretty smooth and not very complicated. And all the feedback I got from everybody that it was pretty straightforward. So
The link that I posted, I pinned it to the it's pinned to the top of the chat. So anybody that wants to take a minute, you can either right click and open it in a new window so you won't lose the show, or you can just hit it and come back. But I would go ahead and hit the little get notified thing. It shouldn't take you but just a second to do it. In fact, I'm going to do it right now.
So Cody, how physically big is this machine, just to give everybody an idea of how the scale of what this thing is?
It's probably about the size of my Jeep, size of maybe a small truck.
Wow.
It's a good size. So how the machine's set up is the machine it'll come in, and you have the machine. It has the controller, the doors. It's got all the equipment on the inside, the grinders and all that. But it also requires a separate machine that goes along with it that actually filter. It's the filter system, and it's also a chiller. So and the reason why they do that is whenever you're grinding carbide, it's the same fluid that they use, you use coolant in a CNC machine, right? Well, you use oil when you're grinding these carbide tools. As it goes through the filtration system, it also needs to be temperature controlled, because the tolerances are so tight on those bits that they need to make sure that it's a stable temperature throughout the entire manufacturing process. And so the cool thing about this machine that I've invested in, it's fully automated. So it has a pallet system with a robotic arm. And I can say the 1/4-inch Jenny, which is, I have one right here. So the 1/4-inch Jenny, and I don't know if you can see it or not. The pallet can hold 150 of these at one time. So I'll load up the entire pallet system. I load up the program, and then I hit go, and then it runs out, lights out automation, and it'll just go until all the bits are done. The cool thing is with the newest technology that they have out there, it has a couple of Resharpening touch probes. So the robotic arm will go in there, it'll pick up the bit, it'll put it in the collet, it'll go and measure the end of the tool, so the machine knows where the tool's at. It's kind of like your work offset, your 0, and then it'll also go and it'll measure the diameter of your wheels. And so after it does all that, it'll run the program, it'll kick out the tool. And then I bought a very, very expensive laser scanning. It's a laser scanner that's inside the machine that's part of the automation system. And what that does is it goes in there and it'll measure the size and the form of your tool, and then make automatic work offsets as the wheels wear down.
Wow.
So from the very, very first tool to the very last, it's super precise and super accurate. So it's nice, because me being a quality engineer for all these years, I bought a machine that has quality built into the process. So it measures and monitors itself. And then of course I get all the data. I can spit all the data out, put it in SPC charts, and look at the trends as they go, and just kind of watch the production, which I'm totally going to nerd out on. Most of you guys probably get sick just me talking about it, but I like doing the Six Sigma stuff and looking at those trends and doing all the SPC data. But I bought all of that as one big package. So I think it's going to do really well. I bought pallets for 3/8 diameter tooling, 1/2-inch or 3/8 diameter tooling, 1/4-inch diameter tooling, and 1/8-inch diameter tooling. So those are the 3 sizes I have now. But I also bought the upgraded spindle, which I can go up to 1/2-inch diameter tooling. So down the road, I'll be able to start making like 3/8 compression bits, or 1/2-inch compression bits, or whatever the community is really looking for. I'll just need a little bit of time to kind of get everything running smooth before I start digging into the R&D side of it, but I'm super excited for it. I think it's going to be good.
So talking about R&D, so it's been kind of known in the chat here in the last couple months of the back and forth with the 30-degree bits and the weighting and stuff like that. So what can you talk about, like what kind of a time difference we're going to see from like that perspective for you? Like what like the amount of time savings that you're going to have?
No, actually that's a great question. So the problem that I have, right now I work with the other guys at the grind shop, right? And we sit down, I tell them exactly what I want. We draw everything up. They make me test tools and I get the test tools and then I test them. And then if it doesn't cut like I wanted to, I make the changes and then they go back to the program, reprogram it, give me new test tools. And then it's a rinse and repeat until I get a good product, right? So the cool thing is with this machine having the lights out automation, what I plan on doing is at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I'll load up the machine and let the machine, run all night. So I'll get all those nighttime hours. And then in the day, when I get there at 6 o'clock in the morning, I'll unload everything, but then I have all day to work on prototype stuff. I'll have the capacity and the time to make test tools. And then I'm also bringing so I should be having a Onefinity Elite machine, which I'm super excited about. But I'm going to be bringing that machine, put it next to my big CNC machine. And then all the new tools that I'm getting off of there, I'm going to be testing it on my Onefinity. And so I plan on doing that during the day and then making tools at night. So that's kind of my plan in the meantime. I have a feeling that my days are going to get really busy really quick though, because now that I'm not working full time and building a business and doing homeschool and married and 4 kids and serving at my church and all those other things, like I'll have more time to work on the business, but I think that's going to get, filled up with a lot more laser work too and other CNC work. So I'm just gonna have to be mindful and just a good steward of my time so that I can do those innovative type projects and bring it to the community. So anyways, long answer short, yes, I should have time and it's going to be dramatically faster than how I'm doing it now. That 30-degree Groovy Jenny, I've been working on that for 3 or 4 months. And it finally got to the point where it's in production right now. So I think I should have the tools off of the production floor in about 2 or 3 weeks. So right around the same time, I'm going to be going out for training. My tools will be done. It's just how that happens. But yeah, it should dramatically cut down the R&D time. So Ryan, you can come to me and be like, hey, I need a 3/8 Jenny bit that has 2-inch flute length. And I can be like, all right, well, let me see if I can get it made tomorrow. Like I've never been able to say that in my life, And so I'm really excited from that perspective also.
Yeah. Right now you're waiting a month or so for
just to get a test tool. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, it's nothing like the guys that I've been working with, they've been phenomenal and they've been so supportive. And even after I told them that I'm buying my own machine, they were obviously very sad because I'm not going to be having them make as much stuff. But really, it's just going to shift the type of business that I do with them. So I'm still going to partner with them and I'm still going to be working on projects with them. For example, tapered ball nose bits. So I can throw a 1/4-inch tool, a blank that's 3 inches long, and my machine can do the whole thing by itself. But the runtime will probably be really long because you have to remove all that material. Mm-hmm. So what I'll probably do is still team up with those guys that I've been doing work with, and they'll make blanks for me. So they'll do all the roughing and get the net shape of the tool, and then I'll put it in my machine and then do all the finish work. So I'll still be working with them, and it'll just be in a different capacity. But the time it takes me to bring stuff to the market is going to be night and day difference. Oh, man, I'm so excited for that. you have no idea how much it kills me being out of stock. Like,
I'm sure.
Ever.
Dave, I've started a bunch of questions. Oh, and you're muted. Dave, you're muted.
He's laughing at himself.
Okay.
There he
Well,
is.
I was doing something a while ago, and I knew it was going to make a noise, so I muted myself, and of course I forget to unmute it. But anyway, yeah, we've got some questions over here and comments. I think I'll go ahead and throw some comments up too. Cody is the best because he cares. One of the most genuine guys you'll ever meet.
Stone, you're awesome. Thank you.
He is a pretty good dude, I have to say. Harry Ragland says, where do you get bit blanks? How long does it take to grind one bit?
So the machine tool that I bought, hang on, let me minimize that other window, is distracting. So the machine tool that I bought is the same machine that the companies that I was outsourcing it to, that they use. And from what I don't know what the exact runtime is going to be for each tool, but I know that with the 1/4-inch compression bit, I think it was about 8 minutes runtime for the original Jenny bit. I think that's what they told me the runtime was. Again, I don't know if that's the exact number, and it's probably going to change with my machine depending on how I program it and what the rapids are set to. But if I can keep it within 10 minutes per tool, I think that's a win. So, but on the other hand, I kind of really don't care how long it takes because I'm going to be running it at night anyways. So if it takes a little bit longer, I don't care because it's going to be automated. I just want to be able to get there in the morning and then pull out my pallet and have a whole tray of good parts, of good tools. The other thing that's really cool too is the software program that I bought. It has the capability of, I can load up an entire pallet, right, of say 1/4-inch tools. I can say, okay, I want 30 of the downtown Jennies made, and then I want 30 of the regular Jenny bits made, and it's got a timer or a counter on it, right? So it knows how many tools it makes, and then after it makes those 30 tools, it'll automatically change the program and then start making another tool that I have kind of in the queue.
That's sweet.
So yeah, that's going to be really nice too, because as my inventory levels are going like up and down, I can say, okay, man, I'm really low on my 1/4-inch down shear bits, and I have, I'm really low on my whatever bit too. I can split it up that night so that I can get tools to the plating company faster. It's going to be good. It's going to be awesome across the board.
Okay. Jerry from Polly Wants a Crafter says, will the Kickstarter offer a tier for the whole line of bits?
Yes. I need to double check exactly what all the bits I have on there. I think it might be missing 1 or 2. I'm not sure, but if it's not an entire set, it'll be really close. So let me look at that. But I do want to offer a tier that has all of my bits. That's something that I just want to do. The only thing is it's just going to be time, right? So after you launch the Kickstarter time, there's going to be an estimated delivery date. If I have 500 people buy that tier, or they contribute to that tier where it's all those bits, well, that means I need to make at least 500 of each one of those bits. And if there's 10 bits in there, I mean, start doing the math. It's a lot of tools I need to make on top of my normal production work. So I'm just trying to be really strategic and wise on how I do that. But yes, I do want to offer the different kits. And as it sits right now, like on my website, because I've had several people ask me like, hey, how come you don't have a starter kit? And the reason why I've never done that is because I didn't want to put together a kit and then have it be missing one tool and not being able to offer it, because with me being out of stock of one tool at any given time, it was just a struggle. But now that I have this machine, I should be able to offer more of those, bundles where I can have all my Groovy Jennies as a set, and all of my downtown Jennies as a set or whatever. So that is something that I want to do for the campaign, but also offer on my website once the machine's up and running. But no, that's a great question. Thank you.
All right. This question says, how many bits can you produce in 8 hours with the new machine? I would assume that it'll run the whole 8 hours that you're there, or however long a day you put in. Plus, you'll set it up to run it lights out, right?
Yeah, so I'm going to be running lights out, but if I just do the math real quick, if it's 8 minutes a tool and it can do 150 tools, bear with me 1 second. That's 1,200 minutes divided by 60. So that's 20 hours. So 150 tools in 20 hours. So that's about what the runtime would be. But I'd probably set it up to where, depending on what I'm doing, if it's a 20-hour run, I might not run all 150 of them. I might only run like 80. So that way it can run through the night and I can come to the machine that's done and pull out finished tools type of thing. I don't know. I'll get into my groove once I start running it and going. But yeah, so 20 hours, 150.
Yeah, I mean a machine that is that automated, you'll probably, other than the time to set up and loading it and stuff like that, it'll probably be running pretty much 24/7, I would think.
So there is setup time. How these machines work is you actually have to build out a wheel pack for each tool that you're doing, and basically what you get is there's an arbor that you build, and on that arbor there's different spacers and then different grinding wheels that you put on there, and each one of the grinding wheels has a different purpose for when you're grinding. So one will be doing like the fluting, one will be doing like the finishing, one might be doing a lot of the roughing, and I can put up to 4 different grinding wheels on that arbor. And so what I've done is I bought two wheel packs for each tool that I'm doing. So as you build it out and you get all the wheels dressed and qualified, it'll be done, and the machine can hold 2 wheel packs at a time. Which when it calls for a different wheel, it's got an automatic tool changer. It's really cool how, well, you saw it on the video. Like the head comes out, it does like a 180 and then puts in a new wheel pack.
Now, when you say wheel pack, you're talking about grinders, right? The grinder itself? Okay.
Yep, it's a wheel pack. Awesome. So it's all your wheels, all your grinding wheels on the one arbor. Yep.
That's cool.
Okay, question says, Cody, will this bring down the prices of the bits?
I don't know yet. I need to really get in and evaluate. This machine is very, very expensive. It's twice as expensive as my house. So I have a very, very big machine tool payment for the next 5 years. So my pricing is probably going to stay the same, which is still cheaper than Amana and all the other tools that are out there anyways, especially the high-end, quality tools out there. I might be able to come down on some of them, but I don't know yet. I need to really kind of sit down and run the numbers once it's up and running. I know that there will be more opportunities for me to do, partner with other. So I had a conversation yesterday with a guy. He's out in Florida. He goes to a retirement village. It's like called the Villages or something like that. And they have this huge retirement group, and they have a bunch of machines set up, and all these retired dudes that love doing woodworking, they go and they make like hundreds of tools or toys for kids every single year, and they donate them like during Christmas and stuff. And they work with like the VA the VFW and like the Elks Lodge, like that, those types of nonprofit organizations. So it'll give me more opportunities to kind of partner with them, and I can start giving them, tooling to help towards those causes. that I'm really not able to do now just because it's so expensive to get them made. So that's one thing I'm pretty excited to do also.
Okay. Marcelo says, Cody, do you need to prep for special base for a new machine?
Yeah. So this machine's about 10,000 pounds. The shop that I'm moving into, it's an industrial shop in Tempe. So it already has I think it has like 6 or 8 inches of concrete already, specifically for big industrial machines. And it also has it has the power there, but I have to obviously bring it in specific for the machine. Case in point, that's why I'm having the electrician come in there and do all that wiring for me. But yeah, you have to have thick concrete. You don't want that machine moving. You don't want the vibration. You want it to be nice and solid and rigid, because the tolerances are so tight. You don't want any of that variance. Same with the climate. It's got to be temperature controlled, which is nice for me. I live in Arizona and it's an air conditioned shop, so it's a win.
Yeah, sounds like a good deal there. Mr. Schuster says, Cody, I will hit you up for your shop address. Want to see it? Don't worry, I will bring a broom, he said. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So the shop that I'm moving into, years ago when I was living up in Prescott, my wife, she was finishing up her schooling and she had to finish her school down here in Phoenix. And so she was like, well, in order for me to do this, we need to, move. And so I wrote up my resume on a Sunday night, and I was hired that Wednesday at a place called Kling's Aerospace in Phoenix. And the guy who hired me, his name was Scott. He's kind of been my mentor, and I've been working with him for years and years. And I've since then left that company, but I've always been in really close contact with him. Him and his dad, years ago, they used to own a machine tool company, and they built CNC machines. And as his dad got older, they ended up selling the business. But they still have a couple machines that they would do R&D work on. And so their shop basically became a giant like man cave, kind of to keep the dream alive for his dad. And so I'm going to be moving in with him. And it's only a 1,000 square foot shop. And there's 2 other CNC machines that are in there now, but we're going to be actually working on getting those out because they're old, and there's some newer technology that they've patented that they're going to be keeping, and probably still working on some projects here and there. But that's where the shop's going to be. It's a 1,000 square foot shop with a single roll up door in Tempe. So
nice.
Yep, it's nothing fancy. It's kind of old and beat up looking, but it's perfect. It's where every small company starts, I think. So.
All right. Timber Falls says, is there a lot of training that you will have to do to get going, or is this something you can get going fairly quick?
So for the last 2 decades, I've worked at machine shops. I'm the quality engineer, but I work also for a small company now. Well, I guess as of next week, I'm not working there anymore, but I'm also the janitor, the machinist, the setup guy, the quality liaison, like you name it. I'm doing everything there. And so I feel really confident behind, machines, doing machine setup and programming and running the machines. So from that side of it, I feel like I'll pick it up pretty quick just because I'm so familiar with running big CNC machines. In regards to the training, it's a solid week. So on the 13th, I'll get to Michigan. I have to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be going through training and programming and building all the tools and the wheel packs every single day that week until Friday. So there's a lot of training. There's a lot that goes into it, but I feel pretty confident that I'll be able to pick it up. And with today's technology, I have pictures and videos, and I'll be bringing that to the party. So, sweet. And during the Kickstarter campaign, as I'm going through all this training and I'm giving updates for people, I'll be taking pictures of the machine and like making little video reels and all that stuff as I'm going through all of the training.
Yep.
So the machine is called Anka
Okay.
from Australia.
Nice.
So the coding, I will never, ever, ever get in the business of coding. I don't want to deal with the EPA. I don't want to deal with the city. I don't want to deal with any of that stuff. Plus, it's about $1 million to buy the machine to do the type of coding that I do. So I will be outsourcing all of my coding just the same as I've always been. Luckily, there's a coding facility here locally in the Valley that I'll be taking all my tools to. And then there's a couple places in California too, but I'm going to try and keep it local if I can.
I'm guessing the turnaround time on coding isn't as bad as getting the bits made themselves.
Working with people in general just sucks. It's they'll tell you it's a week, and then 8 days later they'll be like, oh, it's ready. So I don't know. That's something that I always struggle with. But if I do a good job at managing my vendors, I should be able to manage that well. Where in Michigan will you be? So I'll be in Wixom, Michigan. I think it's right outside of Detroit. So it was funny. I don't know if you guys know who Drew Fisher is.
Mm-hmm.
So I was talking with Drew Fisher the other day, and I was telling him, because I know he's from Michigan. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in your stomping grounds. I'm gonna be in your state. Maybe we can meet up or something or whatever. And he's about 2 hours from where Wixom's gonna be. And he said that he calls Detroit. How did he say it? It was really funny. He said it's like the city that God looked away from or something like that. And he said it in like a joking way, right? And I'm thinking, great. And is this going to be a Lord, why have you forsaken me moment? Am I going to get mugged while I'm going from the airport to Wixom, Michigan? So he had me all freaked out thinking it's going to be this gnarly place. But I did the research. I think the town, it's a pretty safe little town. Hey, come here. You guys want to meet my daughter?
There's the boss.
This is Eliza.
Hi, Eliza.
Say hi to everyone.
Tell Daddy, get to work.
She's going to be running the machine soon. I'll tell you. Hey,
Yeah.
I'll be in there shortly, okay? Yeah. Why don't you go ask your mom? I'll be done in a second.
All right. Four Peaks says that doesn't sound like easel software to run that machine. I think it's Easel Pro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You get 4 free days a month.
I don't think I'll be using easel.
I want to hit this one again too and thank Hamilton for the super chat. I guess is what that is. There's
Yep.
Yeah, and I bet he's right about that. I bet you there's a bunch of folks going to want to be beta testers now.
So kind of interesting is one of the tiers in the Kickstarter campaign. If somebody wanted to be a beta tester, I threw that as actually one of the perks. So the neat thing about that, I think it was like $250 or something, like ridiculously high. But if you wanted to be a beta tester and you contributed towards the cause and you hit that tier level, it guarantees you to be a beta tester whenever I'm ready to test a tool. And it comes with a cool t-shirt and everything. So that's one of the tiers. I think it's going to be kind of fun and creative.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Dom wants to know brand of the grinder. I think you've already said that. In the smallest ball it will be able to grind.
So I believe I can go down to a 1/16 ball pretty easily. I didn't really look into anything smaller than that because I wasn't planning on having anything smaller than that. But it's a pretty accurate little machine.
Okay. James asked, what are the new bits you're coming out with? I saw aluminum.
Yeah, so I'm actually really excited about the aluminum, and if it's okay with you guys, I'll nerd out just a little bit and kind of describe what I'm doing with the bit. So when you're cutting on a machine that doesn't have a lot of rigidity, right? You want to try to control the forces of the bit. And so I've been working on a design for an aluminum bit that actually takes the forces and puts it more vertical instead of having like a lateral load on it. And the idea behind it is you'll be able to take a shallower depth of cut, but you'll be running it at like 250 inches a minute, right? So you'll be running really fast, taking a short depth of cut. And by changing the tool geometry on the cutting face, I'm going to try to change those forces to go more vertical instead of sideways on our less rigid machines. So I think it'll help the tool last longer, and you'll get really nice finishes with it. I wouldn't recommend doing a lot of side milling, but doing a lot of cutting on the face. So that's one of the tools that I'll be releasing, and hopefully releasing in about 2 months or so. So I've already made some beta bits and I've had them tested and they cut, really well. I'm going to be changing up the cutting face just a little bit more before I release it. But that's one of them that I'm going to be releasing. I want to do extended reach bits for people that are cutting material that's 1.5 inches thick. I don't know if I want to go 2 inches. I don't know, maybe I need to think about it. But I definitely want to make some extended reach compression bits and down shear bits. And then there's it's actually on the Kickstarter thing. I have about 6 or 7 of them that I'm going to be releasing. So I'm working on the aluminum bit, and then I'm going to be working on like an 1/8 inch upcut bit and a 1/4 inch upcut bit. The 30 degree, that one's everyone already kind of knows about. And then Lord willing, if all this goes really well, I want to start getting some 3/8 diameter tooling. I think that'd be really cool.
Okay.
I know Hamilton's waiting for you to do a bowl bit.
Yeah. So, okay. Just full disclosure to everybody. Like, I hate brazed carbide bits with a passion. So a lot of those like bowl bits, it's brazed carbide on a body that's already exists, right? So they get the tool made and then they braze on the carbide tips and then they go in there and grind it. So I don't think I will be doing that just because I don't like it. But what I would love to do is take a 1/2 inch diameter tool and make one solid bowl bit out of carbide. So it's perfectly balanced. But again, that's going to take some R&D work down the road. So.
Yeah, Matt had this question about will you be notified?
So yes, the machine it's fully automated. I can go in remotely and I can measure and monitor the process while it's going. I think I even have an app where I can talk to my phone. So yeah. If I get an alarm, if something happens, it'll automatically stop, it'll alarm out, and then I'll get a notification either emailed to me or sent to my phone directly.
Yeah, I was going to say most of the machines that are capable to do lights out manufacturing, they'll either send you an email or text or however you have it set up so that you don't have a surprise in the morning. So
part of, when I was talking to Anka and I told him, I was like, okay, guys, if I'm going to spend this amount of money on a machine, I need it to be a turnkey solution. I need to be able to start producing right away. I've worked at companies where they bought a brand new, like huge 5-axis Matsura palleted CNC machine, right? They bought it. It was super awesome. And then it sat for like 3 months. I'm like, there's no way I can buy a machine and have it sit for 3 months while I figure everything out. And so that's part of the reason why I'm going to be in training for so long, is because we're going to be programming it as a part of my training for each tool that I make. And part of the deal is we got to be able to produce 5 of each tool successfully before the machine is packed up and sent here to Arizona. So when I go back for training, we'll be going through the training, and then I'll also be programming all of the tools I currently have on my website right now. So
awesome.
Yep.
All right. Clyde is asking, are they diamond wheels?
I know you can buy some diamond wheels, but no, these are stones. So actually that's one thing I need to do a little bit more research on too. Talking with the guys who currently make my tools, they buy a lot of, I think it's like an Eagle brand grinding stone. But the majority of it, it's just it's a grinding stone is is what it is. But I do know that they make diamond ones.
Okay. Four Peaks
Yeah.
says,
Actually, that's a great question. So, yes, I can start resharpening tools now. That is going to be a very real possibility. The only thing that I've always kind of shied away from on resharpening tools is whenever you resharpen a tool, you lose the OD gets smaller. So if you have a 1/4 inch tool and then you send it to me and I regrind it, it might take 10 thousandths, 15 thousandths off your OD. And that might be really significant if you're machining parts and then putting them together, like if you're building furniture or something. And a lot of these hobby grade CNC machines, you can't do a cutter comp. You have to go in there and reprogram it for the actual diameter tool that you have, right? But the cool thing is, like with this Onefinity Elite, with that Masso controller that has a cutter comp, it's a real controller. It's like a controller that I have at the shop. So you can go in there and make your cut, and then just tell the controller, hey, I need to have a 10 thou comp on the tool diameter, and then it'll automatically offset the tool. So that way, when you cut a 10-inch rectangle, it'll come out at 10 inches and not be 30 thousandths small, so, or big, depending. I guess it'd be bigger.
got a nice comment from JR there from Trade Skillers Anonymous. Thank you, JR. I have no doubt Cody's going to do awesome.
Actually, I love JR. He has been kind of one of the pillars in my life that I talk to. Just he has so much good like business advice and just experience. Like I really appreciate you, JR. I really do.
He's all right.
Yeah, he's okay.
No, I'm so thankful for you guys and JR.
Okay, Don sounds like he's got some experience with
True
random machine. All righty.
So I've never ran a Walters. I've been around them. One of the companies that currently makes my tools, they're a Walter shop, and they have Ankas. And then the other shop that I work with, it's an Anka shop. But Ankas are also a lot easier on the checkbook. So I think the machine I got was about $100,000 less than one of the Walters machines. Yeah. I'm not kidding you, man. This machine is insanely expensive, and I'm so freaked out. Oh my gosh. It's good though. I'm all in, dude. It's all or nothing. So.
All right. I'm calling it now before 2020, halfway through 2024. Cody has 2 of these machines.
Yeah.
And I think I'm extended on that time frame.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think that's a safe bet.
As I was going through all of this, and I know I said earlier, like it was a total God thing from the beginning. Like I shouldn't even be getting the machine right now. So when I was talking to the finance company to do the financing, they told me that you have to have your LLC established for at least 2 years before they'll even look at you. And so I was at a point where this May, my Cadence Manufacturing will be 2 years old. So I didn't meet that threshold. Like I was short. And so as I was doing all the research and talking to my wife about it, and we were just kind of praying about everything, I was like, you know what? I feel like, I don't know. I feel like now is the time. And so I went ahead and I submitted all the information and started working with the finance company. And dude, they accepted it even though I didn't hit that 2-year mark. I was blown away. So I don't know if God keeps moving like that, who knows? Maybe in a year and a half, I'll have another one. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that every door has been open. Like, I'm just like, every time that door opened, I'm like, man, is this like really happening? Like, and even my wife, right? I shared this with you guys. I bought a Bob CNC. My wife gave me such a hard time about buying a Bob CNC. Like, she's like, you're gonna spend how much money on a toy in the garage? I'm like, yeah, what, right? And then I bought another Bob CNC, which was awesome and a lot of fun. And then I ended up getting a Shapeoko. And every single time my wife was like, she gave me pushback. And so I had to convince her for about a month before I actually went and bought the machine, right? And then the same with like my Onefinity. Like when I told my wife I want to get a Onefinity, she's like, man, you already have this machine and you have this machine. Why do you need one? And so when I sat down and I was like, all right, honey, I want to buy this machine. She was like, all right, when do you quit your job? I'm like, who are you? And because, like the amount of money for these machines in the garage, like doesn't even compare to like what this machine is. And she was just like, yeah, when you quit your job, let's do it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Awesome.
That right there was an answered prayer. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. So
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. My wife is great, man. If she wasn't on board, I wouldn't be doing it. I wouldn't be having this conversation with you guys today.
You'd be looking for a new place to live.
Yeah. Yes. I love my family, and I don't want a broken family over a stupid machine. So.
Yeah, getting lots of positive comments out here.
Oh yeah.
I know you probably hadn't had a chance to glance at them, Cody, but
no, I haven't been looking at the chats at all.
Lots of great comments out there.
Thank you.
All right. Well, we've been at it here an hour and 10 minutes, and I know we do this little giveaway that I think people are kind of used to, so we probably should do that here in just a minute. But before we do, I want to know how many people know about Maker's Rock. Is there anybody out there that doesn't know what Maker's Rock is? We'll give you a minute to comment there. But I think, well, all the guys on this side of the Brady Bunch thing are in the Maker's Rock. Going to do the Maker's Rock collab.
Yeah.
Okay, I see we got a no clue. I don't know. Okay, well, here we go. I'm going to let Matt tell you all about it.
Maker's Rock. That is the largest collaboration on YouTube. And if you have a YouTube channel and make stuff with your hands, this is the collab for you. We make album art, like the vinyl record album art. We use any material, using any technique, create a video of us making it, publish it on the same day, and every participant will cross-promote all of the other participants. Collabs are the best way to grow your channel because other people's audiences will see your stuff and vice versa. There's another twist. It's also a giveaway. And it's different because we give away the stuff that we create. You give away the artwork to someone in your audience. Giveaways are huge for promoting and growing your channel. Come along for the ride. There's a secret Facebook group where all the participants share behind the scenes. Makersrock.com is where you start. Join us. It'll be awesome.
Yep, just like Matt said, go to makersrock.com to find out more about it and sign up and all that good stuff. And if you're, I don't remember, well, I know Sean's doing REO Speedwagon, I think. And who is it you're doing, Ryan?
I'm doing, now I can't,
Meatloaf, out of Meatloaf, right?
No. Now I can't remember it. Wow. It just went out of my head.
Okay. Well, I'm doing, for anybody that's old like me, I'm doing Humble Pie, the album Smoking. So anyway, go to Maker's Rock, check it out, and it'll be a lot of fun. So let me get the little thing here.
Green Day, American Idiot.
There you go.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So here we are. We've got 153 entries in so far. If you haven't already done the hashtag, it's hashtag MiniJenny.
MiniJenny.
We're going to give it just a minute, see if it jumps up. Looks like it's going to hit a couple more. But anyway, let's do this. And again, thank you, Cody, for always sponsoring this thing. You're so dadgum awesome, I'm telling you.
Thank you, Cody.
All righty, here we go.
Who's it gonna be?
Who we got? Robert
Why?
Nice.
Everyone just said, "Why Robert?"
Not to be confused with Robert X or Robert Z. It's Robert Y.
Awesome.
Why?
Congrats, Robert.
Congratulations.
So, Robert, if you go to my website and just shoot me an email and give me your shipping address, I'll get that shipped out to you ASAP.
Yeah, there's the website right there, www.cadencemfgdesign.com.
And for the other 226 people that did not win, go get them. Buy them, support our boy.
Yeah, heck yeah. All right. I think we've covered all the questions pretty much.
Well, is it okay if can I say one more thing before everyone heads out?
Absolutely. You better
So
say quick though. Once the drawing's over, they drop pretty quick.
So
right
no,
ahead,
I just want to thank you, Dave, and you guys have been so awesome. And I just wanted to thank the community. I mean, I was kind of scrolling through all the comments, and I'm like trying not to get choked up reading it because it's like this is my dream, and seeing the support, it's been absolutely incredible. But regardless if you guys participate in the Kickstarter campaign or not, gosh, if you could at least just keep me and my family in prayer as we do all this. I mean, that in and of itself is really all I need when it comes down to it. So if you just would join me and my family in that, and let people know about the campaign. If you guys want to take that deal that Dave shared, the link, or message me later, I can give you a link to it. But share it on your social media. I want to get the word out and let people know kind of what I'm doing. And this is actually my debut. I haven't told the world yet until tonight. So it's kind of it's been a big deal for me. And I was actually a little nervous going into having this conversation with you guys. But yeah, if you just want to keep us in prayer and just help me get the word out, man, that would be so absolutely incredible of you guys.
Yeah, even if you're unable to contribute for whatever reason, just share, and you'd be amazed how much that helps get the word out.
It'd be incredible.
That's a good help right there. So, all right. Anything else, Cody? You got any final thoughts or?
No, I just want to say again, thank you. You guys are awesome, and I'm excited. I'll update you guys as I get closer. So when I actually fly out and we still get candy with orders. I don't think I've ever sent candy out.
Yeah, I was gonna say I never got any candy, but
okay, I'll be honest with you guys. I know that there are other people in the Facebook groups who sell tools, and that's their thing. Like they always gave candy out, and I didn't want to like steal their thunder, so I never gave candy.
Your stuff is so awesome. You don't need to bribe people with candy.
Yeah,
I do give stickers though. I make all my own stickers, and I sign every single pack slip, and sometimes my girls do too. So.
Yeah, Cameron wants to know, do you have a Facebook group he can share?
So I don't have a Facebook group, but I do have my Facebook, just regular page you can go to.
Yeah.
I'm in a lot of the Facebook CNC groups, like the Onefinity and
your page, is it Cadence Manufacturing and Design, or is it Cody's CNC Engraving?
Cody's CNC Engraving.
Okay.
And then on my Instagram, which I'm still learning the gram, I kind of suck at it, but which is funny. You'd think I'd be good at it, but I'm totally not. It's just Cadence MFG. I believe that's my Instagram.
Okay.
I actually feel embarrassed. I don't know that off the top of my head.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I always hashtag every time I put a thing about this show on Instagram. I always put hashtag Cadence MFG Design.
Yeah, Cadence _MFG. That's what I am on Instagram. And by the way, like Hamilton, last time he did his live, videos, he encouraged people to go out there and, like my Instagram page or whatever. and it jumped me up like 150 people or something crazy like that. It was insane. So now I think I'm up to 700 followers, I think, or almost 700.
Mary says, maybe send Thin Mints. Mary, those don't work. I've eaten a whole box of them and I'm still fat. So.
Oh my gosh.
All right. I guess we will wrap this up. Appreciate, we've had an awesome crowd. Had a bunch of new folks, or at least folks that not normally come over. So I guess teasing them with a big announcement worked. I love clickbait. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and congratulations again, Cody, on such an awesome thing.
Thank you.
Don't sweat it. It's all going to be fine. I can tell you. It's going to be fine. And I guess we'll get out of here. Ryan, you got anything you want to add? We didn't let you talk much tonight.
I know. I feel bad.
Everybody is very enjoyable because of that fact.
Yeah, and nobody got blocked as far as I know.
Yeah, I did good job. I figured it out. I figured it out, people.
Oh man!
I tagged a lot of people and didn't ban one of them, so you're all welcome.
I didn't. Yeah, that was pretty awesome. Okay, Sean, any final thoughts before we get out?
Everyone have a wonderful evening. Cody, this is awesome. This is the best news. I can't wait to see you.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I got my start.
All righty. Well, I guess we're going to get out of here then. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in and hanging around with us. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for the super chat. Let's see, who was it? JR and Hamilton, I think, did the super chat. So thanks for those. And we will get ready to get out of here. So good night, everybody. And we will see y'all next week.